See, I rely on people to be in the chat so they can tell me those kinds of things. What was I doing here? I need to make... Here's what... It said I was going to die. No choice. I'm going to make the virus cure. And now I have the... I'm going to die.
The disease is fatal stage entered. Death is inevitable.
There you go. I took the cure. And now I'm not dead. Wait a minute.
Change in body condition has been detected. Use medical bed to perform diagnostics. The cure started working. You are slowly
assimilating into the world.
I am proud of you.
So I put in the 30. So I'm going to scan the cure. See how that goes. Kind of a trip. Wow, there's something really unsmooth about that as well. Create the medicine that stops the virus effects.
Meet me. We will save,
it will save humanity.
There is still hope for everything. We can do it.
Mission Report 05. What does Mission Report 05 say? It's not there. Oh, wait a minute. That just popped up on its own. I didn't do that. The story will continue soon. There's so much to experience here. Now's a good time to discover the mechanics you missed, carry out further research, discover new locations, create new devices, and above all, get to know the world of Forever Skies better. This is a message from the dev team. We're working on the early access. So finishing the early access in the first few months of 2025. In the meantime, I'd be delighted if you could share your feedback with us to help us make Forever Skies even better. Hey, Ben, how you doing? In the near future, you can expect the final story chapters of Forever Skies, additional content, and more surprises. We also plan to support the game after the full release with more content. There you go. Not bad. I will note the following, which is I did a early first look kind of review after the first live stream, after 4 hours or so. I don't know how many hours it was. And I was pretty complimentary of the, let's say, the lack of bugs that I had experienced. I'll probably end up doing another review of this game now that I've gotten to this point of it. And there's some issues. So they have some things to work on. And I don't know what the solution is to that. Like, I already had to switch to, I guess the first thing is they do tell you that 1080p is their preferred format because higher resolution has problems, and that definitely happened. It literally, there's some conflict with the NVIDIA drivers or something because it killed my first stream of this when I first tried to start it. And then the issue with the elevators that keeps showing up. And every time you go up and down the elevators, the frame rate drops and the game just gets very chokes up. So I suspect that's going to be visible in the live stream that's stored on YouTube in the live stream. And I record this separately, and then that's what I cut into the individual tracks. I'm clearly, hey, Alan, how you doing? I'll first of all, Alan, I'm going to admit that for some extended period of time, which I won't determine until later, I had my microphone turned off, and could have been for a very long time. I don't know. So I just turned it back on a little while ago. But in the individual 30-minute cuts that I put up as videos, not as the live VOD, the live VOD's not going to have any audio during whatever period that is because YouTube just puts it up there after we're done. In the individual cuts that I make into 30-minute videos, I will probably record some soundtrack over the top of that because I can do that. When I find them, I will at least jump in and say, and here's where I turned off my microphone. And you can still hear the game playing, right? But it's just going to be me wandering around. So I was just saying, this game is I think it's a lot of fun, honestly, and I'm not really ready to do a full review of it right now, but I think when I first did a review, I think along the lines of how the story goes, and for me, story is everything, including world building, the actual narrative, and any dialogue and things like that. And I think this game has gotten a pretty good story, and they've fleshed it out so far. That's good. The game mechanics, honestly, and I think, Alan, you might have even mentioned this the other day, like, somebody did, Subnautica and Raft and some other games like that, they're not creating everything from scratch. This is a known, reasonable set of mechanics. It's got basic survival mechanics, and they do a nice job on those. So, I don't have any hard concerns with any of that, really. But I will say, when it comes down to the technical and artistic delivery, which is the last part that I concern myself with, is I think the artistic delivery is nice. I like the sounds, I like the sound effects, I like the graphics. There's a whole lot I like there, but there are definitely some things I hope they hammer out between now and when they release this out of early access. That elevator thing is just, you have to laugh. It's so bad, right? Like, it's just, and this is the worst site that I've experienced that with. I can see it already here. It feels choppy. When you get into this elevator, it is just kind of a nightmare, really. So I think I've taken all the material. And the elevator too. There's a button back here. This is the button that brings the elevator up and down, but sometimes you'll walk up to the door and hit the door to open it, and it'll bring the elevator up and down. So the button doesn't register in the right place. So I have my notes. I'm going to make a review, and I'm probably going to send my final review to Far From Home. I think it's a great game. It's a short game so far. I think what I might have mentioned earlier, and may or may not have had the microphone on at the time, is I think this is my third live stream, and I'm at 2.5 hours on this one. I was probably 5 last time, so 7.5, easily 3.5, 4 before, and so that's 12 hours on live streams with this game in early access. And I probably spent 3 hours off of live streams collecting metals and synthetics and materials to build the ship and expand it. I didn't do any progression of the game while I was off camera, but I collected, I don't know what I collected. I collected 500 metal units because I should be able to, in the future, build an entire second deck for this ship. So overall, good. I'll probably take a couple, I'll probably take a little bit off of the technical delivery because of the bugs. But, that's one of those things where I ranked it as a pretty high game, 7.5, 8.5 early on. It'll take a hit because of that. But by the time they get it out of early access, I think it'll be solid. So I'll do a more detailed review at a later time. And I might also play a little more in the future, but it will all be essentially shipbuilding. So, like, I only have, I can't even see it in here. It's kind of hard to see on this platform, and I don't want to leave. I only have one balloon on this ship, and you can add a second balloon, but from what I've seen, I will have to widen the ship or remove this balloon completely and then attach them side by side on the external rows of rooms, because they won't sit right next to each other. There's no room for it. But I want to put 2 balloons and just, I want to max this thing out and just see how much weight it's supposed to carry. And I have, see if I can show you this. These are great. Like, if I look at what I know now in the rooms, so I just got this. This is a double cockpit. So it looks like it's at least 2 wide. So this is the one that comes with the ship originally. And this one's 2 wide, and there's an inverted one. I've never seen that before. That came along sometime recently. But I have a ladder room now, I have a staircase on the right and a staircase on the left room. So I can absolutely create 2 levels in this ship, and I have all the materials to make an entire duplicate level at the bottom, and then move the catwalks down below and deal with that. from a balloon. I can add a balloon core. I have all the materials for that. And I've got a bunch of railings. I haven't been using the railings. I've just been trying not to walk off the side and die. I have died 2 or 3 times in this thing. And there are some things I haven't found yet. Like I found a large freezer blueprint, but it requires you to have a small freezer as an input material. And I haven't found the small freezer blueprint yet. And it's somewhere in the game, somewhere out there, probably on one of those small sites that's not terribly exciting. I don't want to say terribly exciting, but they're just the more routine sites like the wind farms and the radio tower. So somewhere out there is a small freezer. I also missed when I was at the infected garden tower, or the infected greenhouse tower. There is an automatic harvester device that will pull synthetics out of the air. It's essentially, put one of these on the back of the ship. I'll show you this. So we have this deck extractor. So you have your hand extractor, and then there's a deck extractor here, which oh, my inventory's full. So you can't use the extractor when your inventory's full, but it doesn't require power. And so you can sit there and just, hang out in space and pull materials out of the air, which is great. But there's a device you can put up here that you throw a couple batteries in, and it'll do all the material harvesting yourself. Alan says, everyone knows that to make a large freezer, you have to stick in a small freezer. Yeah, exactly. I got that now. Meanwhile, this thing is evidently the cure for all of humanity's problems, at least for now. So what is it? This is the upgrade device. So I got the air cutter in this one. I have the automatic insect catcher. Don't think I found the large oxygen tank. It's somewhere in this area I was just in. So I need to go back down there and keep clearing it, right? So if I go to a different generation or procedurally generated version of this same site, I will have clear it all again and kill everything in there. So I think, honestly, I will probably off camera farm this whole site, see what else I can pick up down here. There's things I'm clearly missing. Inside this, that's headwear and boots for the bug. That was part of the process for learning how to make the cure. These are just lights. Some of those are Christmas lights from the event that we just had. Sticky notes, tables. I think there's more of these out there. You just have to find cards. And the paint tool, I haven't done anything. You can paint your ship. There's all sorts of patterns, and there's just all sorts of bizarre stuff you can do there. I need to make liquid neon. Oh, actually, can I make the liquid neon? I bet these things are they done? Inventory's full. Take the things out of the inventory. Why am I carrying all this stuff? Better. That's so much better. What is that? It's a sleeping lily fruit. Energy, dust fertilizer. I have far more bolts than I need. Daisies. Get rid of some of this stuff. Oh no, that's what we want. Yes. Oh, my oxygen is full. So when you make liquid oxygen, you don't have to collect things. So there's 2 ways. Yeah, so it's like plus 100. It's great. But I don't know if you were here and you saw, if we take the little bug with us, we can drink, or like the bug will give us a breath of life kind of thing. It does like bug CPR, I guess. But that and keeping liquid oxygen in your inventory is good. Let's just put it that way. It's worth doing. I need to get the glow weed. I do this. Yeah, there you go. So I've got a bunch of this. I've got tons of plant resin. I've got lots of material right now. So I have a lot of material. I can build things. I can do the rest of the stuff that I need to do. Let's do this. Drink some of that nonsense. But there's a couple ways to solve that problem. But I didn't find the large oxygen tank. So what was I going to make? So for glow weed, I can make neon. There you go. I can make liquid neon. And then I do have this ship is already way too small and it's pretty big. So as soon as I get some liquid neon, I'll be able to make a medium backpack module, which right now we went from 20, maybe something like that. I added another row, which is pretty solid, pretty good. Neon do I have? Just 2. Gotta wait it out. So I think there's another layer to this, which is, you know, in other games where you can just keep building and collect all the rest of the recipes and pop this thing out. When they dropped this update in December, they killed all the previous save games. They didn't have a path forward. So I started from scratch, but, you know, still at 10, 12, 14 hours. It doesn't take that long. I would hope that when they actually release the final game that they've solved it. They said it was primarily because of the... keep getting trapped here. It's an interesting bug. They said it was because of the combat changes. Well, no, the co-op changes, the multiplayer. So you can play this game with up to 4 people right now, which if you can imagine the chaos of that, right? It's 4 people hanging out on a ship, hanging off the side, shooting things. So I'm going to research the backpack module. All right, Alan, nice to see you.
Printing completed.
I'm going to wrap up pretty quickly. I'm just going to take a look at a couple more things here, since I know how to make a backpack now. I need more liquid neon. Which liquid neon do I need? Oh, I need to take that. How much do I have? I have enough. Let's get this. Oh no. Why can't I make it? I have the fiberglass. I have the liquid neon. I have the upgrade modules. The small backpack has things in it. So let's take all the things out of the small backpack. Do I have to empty the backpack? Maybe. Can I make a... Let's make a large storage box and just put everything in there. Oh, I just had to empty the extra slot. What's the medium backpack give me? I will say, on the subject of the storage in the backpacks, because you had to get so much chitin to do that, and clearly you had to get this neon as well. There you go. So we got an extra row in here. That's a pretty late game upgrade, and it would be nice if make it over here. It would be nice if that would come a little earlier in the game. You know, like the ability to get that backpack. But maybe I just missed it. It's possible. So like if I look at the Underdust variants, I'm missing some plants downstairs that I need to find. I'm just going to have to. I think I'm just going to have to be thorough and wander around the entire area. The lift variants. I have everything in the lift variants. The garden variants. There's a wrecked large sprinkler somewhere. I think I know where it's at. There actually were the preternatural growths on a portion of the greenhouses, but you can't go into it until you get the immunity booster. So I can probably do that now. Wind farm variants. 75%. I don't even know what's here, so I just need to keep going to all the wind farm variants, and something else will pop up. Radio tower's done. Dust territory. What's missing there? I need to go down and scan fiberglass panels. Like that's the only thing that's left. Is that the only thing? Yeah. I picked up all the fiberglass, but I never scanned it, which is kind of an odd little issue. So I'm pretty close to being done. This is, you know, like I said, I'm gonna do like a build video. I'm not gonna build off camera. I will do some more collection and gather things, and then I'll just come in and do like a real casual shipbuilding video, because that I think will be good to have on channel just for background and reference for when they do launch this eventually. And I like to do it that way. It's kind of a guide video. But the whole process of taking the whole balloon off and putting 2 of them on and expanding the ship would be kind of fun. So Hey, if you've been hanging out for a little while or for a long while, that's fantastic. Thank you very much for joining. Like I said, this is something new for the channel to do some other games, and this one, space and kind of dystopian fits in. Also survival for me. It fits in nicely around the Starfield content. If anybody's watching Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it these days, there is a guy out there who spreads rumors, who said we might be getting an update to Starfield pretty soon, so I'm pretty excited about that. We'll try to hit that one as quickly as possible. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and we'll see you next time.